Okay, and number 4 will be a quick one. It's about the way some folks are managing the assignments or not managing them. I will submit to you that for some folks, you're creating a lot of stress for yourself by not reading the assignments carefully enough. I have 2 examples that I'll share with you, and I'm only even bothering to mention this because this is a problem in this class that, frankly, I've never quite encountered at this level before, and I have worked extremely hard all during the summer to make the assignment sheets as clear as I can possibly make them. And so I think, of course, I can always do better, but I think the assignment sheets are very clear. So if people are not meeting the criteria of the assignment, the only conclusion I can draw is that they're not reading the assignments. They don't understand what they're being asked to do because they're not reading the assignment. So they're playing the game without knowing what the rules are. That doesn't make sense. Let me give you a couple of examples, and then you can talk with each other and with me about how that might change. And again, I'm concerned about this because it's not, the 4 or 5 people in every class who are just going to be clueless and prefer to be clueless. Those folks are in every class. Nothing we can do about that. But a lot of folks seem to be trying but not grasping some pretty basic stuff that's, crystal clear, laid out. So, for instance, on the AN2 exercise, it says on the assignment sheet that you must have a works cited page, and at the bottom of the assignment sheet, I made the works cited entry for you. I created it for you because we haven't really covered the new MLA requirements yet, so I decided I would do that for you. I created an exactly correct works cited entry for you, and I said, here it is, please copy and paste it. In other words, I did all the work for you because I felt that I should, because we hadn't covered it. And still some folks didn't copy and paste it. Some folks either didn't give a works cited page at all, which is clearly stated in the requirements, or you didn't copy and paste the one I made for you, which I said, here it is, take it and use it. It's fine, take it. And so there was some breakdown there that folks didn't read the assignment sheet. And I want to suggest to you that that's crystal clear in the assignment sheet. So the only conclusion I can draw is that you didn't read it, or you skimmed through it and you didn't remember. So if you're having that problem, print the damn assignment sheets and lay them by your computer and make a yellow marker on the thing. Help yourself manage this. But the one that's sort of been gnawing on my mind is, a while back we were talking about theme. And we read in the textbook about theme, and then we had a discussion about the difference between theme and subject. So you read the textbook and then you applied your knowledge in the discussion about theme and subject. And then in the assignment sheet I mentioned, please talk about the theme in your story, and I mentioned that twice. So you read about theme, you had a discussion about theme, and then you were specifically told to write about theme twice. That's 4 things. And still, I got about half the papers that came in, you didn't even mention the word theme. Now that's concerning, because what that tells me is that student didn't read the textbook, didn't participate in the discussion, and didn't read the assignment sheet, so nothing came together for that student because that student didn't do anything. And that's concerning. A lot of times when I see that, I think, well, I've done something that made it unclear, and I went back through that discussion and through that assignment sheet. It's crystal clear. So for about half of you, there was some kind of serious disconnect between what we were studying and talking about and what we ended up writing about. There's some place that process broke down. And I've got to tell you, it was not my fault. It was not anything that I did. In fact, I did everything I could to manage that discussion and focus you on that discussion. So it's something that happened with you, and it's something that, if it happened with you, it's something we need to try to clear up, because it seems to be an ongoing problem issue with way too many people in this class. So let me explain to you, when we design lessons, again, these things don't happen by accident. We're trained professional teachers. We go to school to learn how to do this. So what happens with any assignment is I'll assign reading in the textbook. When I assign reading, that means you have to read it, and not just consume it, but actively read it. Mark it up, make arrows, do whatever. If you don't want to mark in your book, drop a dime and make a copy and mark up the copy. And then the stuff that I want to focus on, or that I think we need to focus on, that's going to be the subject of the discussions for the week. So you read the book, then you discuss the concept in the forums, and then it's a reasonable expectation that the assessment activity, usually a paper or some other kind of writing, is going to reinforce that learning and give you a chance to show off that learning. So everything builds on everything else. Everything clicks together. One assignment builds on the next. Each week starts with a reading and builds on that to you're producing some kind of evidence of the learning. Those are all deliberately designed. We know what we're doing. We're taught how to do this. We're trained how to do this. We know what we're doing. So it's concerning to me that there seems to be a consistent breakdown of people not reading stuff, and it goes back to beyond the theme discussion. It goes back to people asking me to reiterate things over and over again that are in the syllabus, laid out black and white for you in the syllabus. And I'm still at midterm still getting questions about, basic stuff that's laid out clearly for you in the syllabus. So if you're having trouble making those connections, it's most likely because you don't understand, and that's okay. Understanding is the thing that we clear up as we grow. But if you're not, the most likely cause for basic, simple stuff like that, if you don't understand, it's because you didn't read the stuff that I gave you to read. Again, we talked about this first week of class. A lot more reading in an online class because we're not lecturing and we're not interacting in the classroom. So I've got to write it, you've got to read it. It's that simple. So what would have happened to me, and again, this is not a criticism, it's a concern that we need to clear up. What would have happened to me is if I read about theme and then I talked about theme in the discussions, and then I was asked to write about theme, I'd write about theme, because that would be clear to me. And if I wrote a paper that didn't even mention theme, for instance, I would say, wait a minute, you didn't answer the question. Your essay has no relevance to what you just learned this week. So you learn stuff, and then you show your mastery of the stuff on the paper or the writing. That's how it works. That's how learning takes place. So I guess I'd like to have us talk about, or have you talk to each other and talk to me this week about how some of those breakdowns are happening. What's happening that I can say theme 4 times and some folks are not getting that I need you to write about theme, or whatever the assignment is. I think you're getting my point. You're smart folks. And because the corollary to that, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't give me what I'm asking for, I have no basis to evaluate your learning. You've deprived me of the possibility of helping you. Okay, let's go back to the theme thing one more time. We read about theme, and then we talked about theme, and then we wrote about theme. So if I got a paper that doesn't even address the issue of theme, there is no possibility that I can assess your learning about theme, which was the whole point of the week. And I have no chance to help you because you haven't shown me what you know. This is all a very carefully designed process. And I've been in this business a long time. I know how to do it. Not that I can't do better. I can always do better. But I've done pretty good, darn good in many cases so far, particularly the one I've just talked about. So the breakdown happened somewhere in some way that some self-reflection on your part, if there was a breakdown in the learning process for you, it's a decision largely that you made, and a self-reflection and talking about it in a public forum can help us make better decisions next time. So if you're not understanding, it's possible that it's not clear. But again, I know what I'm doing, and I've been in this business a long time, so it's probably as clear as I can make it. So it's possible that it's not clear, but it's more likely that you're not reading carefully enough the instructions I'm giving you. And so the answer to that would be to figure out how to read things more carefully, and I can help you with that. But I think you're understanding the kind of, this is a very open-ended, reflective discussion, both what are you going to do about managing the stress levels, how can you help yourself do that, and then if you're having these breakdowns between what I'm asking you to do and you're doing what you do and there's no connection, what's causing that, and can you do anything about that to change that? What actions can you take, or what different decisions can you make? So there are two discussions in this forum. Again, this is all we're doing this week. I'm going to be reevaluating and probably redesigning the last half of the class in ways that I think will be a little more focused on what I think you need to learn, because that's the most important thing. It's really about you and not me. I just manage the process the best I can. And so these three discussions, and there's one tiny little assignment, and that's all we're doing this week. So let's have a good week. As I said, I'm going in for some surgery, and I may be laid up. I'm going to be out all day Monday and possibly laid up on Tuesday. So I'll be thinking about that in my sort of downtime. All right. Have a good week, folks. Talk to you soon. Bye.